is going to be either. Also, my mirror is making a like a slight humming sound. You might hear that. What's up, everybody? Thank you all for being here at the Paranormal Q&A. Guys, mainly I'm going to talk about the plan for tonight. So, I don't know if y'all heard, but our location tomorrow night got canceled. And it was nobody's fault. The people who run it, they got sick, and they didn't want to, for safety reasons, they didn't want to meet up. Lord. Hello? Mama Epic, what's up, Trixie Cat? Hopefully we're back live here. So guys, I will be investigating live tonight about midnight. I'll be investigating a hotel room. And I want to talk to y'all about today. So multiple times we were woken up last night, and so my sleep was cut into like 3 or 4 different sections. So I got a late start, slept entirely through my alarm, and then when I finally got all packed up, I went to air up the tires, right? And so I went to this one air machine that's closest to me. The nozzle doesn't pump out the measuring stick, the freaking gauge, the tire gauge. You know, like you put it in, the old school ones where you put the air nozzle in and then it'll push out and show you what pressure it's at. Yeah, so that thing was busted. So wasted $1.50 there. Go to the next one, and I'm trying to use it, and I guess they've changed it, because back in the day, you know those ones where you set the tire pressure and then you put it in? Well, when it would hit that tire pressure, it would cut off. And so for each tire, you'd have to pay for each tire. So I, being the genius that I am, you put the pressure way higher. And then like when it checks it, you see how close it is to the pressure you want, but you got careful not to go over. Well, that's how that one used to be. They changed it. Now you can do all 4 tires, and you set the pressure how you're supposed to, and there's only a tiny little thing on the screen that shows you what your tire pressure's at. Anyways, guys, basically what I'm telling you is it has been quite the day already. It has been quite the day already. What's up? Is that Boots? What's up, Boots? Thank y'all for being here. So I want to talk about tonight's investigation. I'm going to be investigating a hotel room in a town I've never been in before, in a location I've never been in before, a spot I've never been. And I went through a bunch of different hotels, like seeing if any of them, like if I felt any weird energy or anything like that. But I didn't want to stay in one that was super sketchy. And I was about to pick one that was super sketchy just because it felt like it had some strong energy. It felt like it'd be a good investigation. But something was telling me not to pick that one, so I picked this other one. And guys, frankly, I don't know. It's a 7-hour drive. I'm at 6.5 hours to go. I might stop before then. What's up, everybody? Yeah, so tonight's investigation is going to be a hotel room. I've got one picked out, but that's if I can make the full 7 hours. I'm sure I can. I'm sure it's no problem. Tires are aired up. This thing is rolling. I hope I did it right. I am, oh no, my GPS fell over. But I'm going to be on this one road for like 2.5 hours, so it's not like I need the GPS right now. So guys, if you do have questions, feel free to type them in the chat. Make them as simple as possible. And if you have questions, type them in all caps. But I will be meeting up with my boy Sean. That's right, guys. I'll be meeting up with Sean tomorrow. And I don't think he'll get in until tomorrow night. But I'll be beachside pretty early. Well, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. And so I might take you guys and me onto the beach and maybe just scout it out, see what's happening. Maybe sit down with the spirit box next to the ocean. And then that night, I think that's what Sean and me are going to investigate, that hotel room. And then the next day we're going to hit the beach, and then we're going to go up to a mansion, a well-known mansion that's been on a handful of ghost shows. And we are going to investigate that with our friend Miranda. So guys, Miranda is joining the team of Sean and me, and you all will get to meet her. If not tomorrow, then the next day. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be Saturday. That's right, we got a new teammate. I don't know how often she'll get to investigate with us, but we've all investigated together before, but now she's being officially brought into the fold. Or something like that. Something like that. Cassandra, what's good? Yeah, guys, I'm headed east. Did you know Kentucky and Delaware are on like the same like latitude or longitude or whichever one it is? They're on the same horizontal line, which is wild. Angie Roddingdahl, fam, my internet is behaving today. Angie, what is good? Angie, it is so good to see you here. Thank you for lighting it up on the super chat. Guys, Angie Roddingdahl coming in hot. Angie, you are amazing. So guys, what I'll do in the meantime, since I'm not able to like keep my eyes exactly on the chat here, I will answer some questions that we've gotten in the past. Joe Watchman for sunblock and a tire gauge. That's right, guys. The sweet lady at the gas station, at the second gas station, she let me borrow her tire gauge so I could check the tires and see, because I had no idea what I was doing. And I found out I had overinflated one of my tires and underinflated 3 of them. So it was a huge help. A tire gauge would be nice. I used to have a tire gauge in here. I don't know what happened to it. But Joe Watchman, thank you for lighting it up on the super chat. That is huge. Oh yeah, and the sunblock. So I got a beach towel, swimming trunks, ocean shoes, which are like these weird, I don't know how they're ocean shoes, and sunblock. I don't know if I already mentioned that. Beach towel, I think I mentioned that. There's something else I got too. Can't remember. I brought some hats, but I should have got like a really big hat. And guys, I have to be covered up completely in the sun. Not only do I have to have like sunblock all over, but I have to be like covered completely, because my skin is very sun opposed. I don't know what you'd call it. But my skin doesn't like, some people's skins burn. Mine boils. So my skin, I get these like, it's called like a sun rash, I think. If I'm in the sun for any amount of time, I'll get and that's why I wear gloves when I drive, because if I don't wear these gloves, my hands get the freaking sunspots all over, the sun bumps, the blisters, sun blisters all over. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. I should have brought some gear up front with me in case we want to do like a spirit box or something. However, I have all of it back there. Now I use handy. But so one question I get asked from time to time, especially pertaining to tonight's investigation, is why would a random hotel room be haunted? Why would you get activity in a random hotel room? Now that is, see, I used to have that question too. I used to be like, what the hell? Why are we getting all this activity in these crazy hotel rooms? And I'll tell you what, my girl Angie Roddingdahl, who just threw down 20 on the Facebook donation. That is absolutely amazing. And that goes such a long way for these road trips, especially with gas being the way it is now, and especially with how, guys, I'll be driving a total of like 24 hours on this trip, and we're doing like one location and a hotel and two hotel rooms and a location, and I'll be driving like 24 hours. So Angie, it is much appreciated. It is much appreciated. Yeah, it's gonna be over 1,000 miles on this trip. Over 1,000 miles. It's gonna be many tanks of gas right there. So yeah, Angie, thank you so much for the big throwdown. Also, I do want to get a big shout out to Mama Epic, Trixie Cat, and Joe Watchman, who threw down $100 total on the PayPal today. Trixie Cat, Joe Watchman, thank you all so much for the big donation. And guys, any donation 50 or over, we black out the chat. So use those black flames if you're on the member squad. Use the black hearts. We got to black out this chat for the huge donation from Mama Epic and Joe Watchman on the PayPal. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for lighting it up. And then just now, my girl Lori H throwing it down big on the Epic Facebook donations. Guys, Lori just threw down 20 on the Facebook donation. Let's see some blue flames, some blue fire, some blue hearts, blue diamonds. Because guys, the Facebook donations, we light it up blue. The PayPal donations, we light it up blue. Oh, wow. Not to get too specific here, but I'm passing Oville. Guys, thank you all so much. And Lori, thank you so much for the Facebook donation. The Facebook and the PayPal goes through immediately. It makes it to where I can put the gas straight in the tank from those donations. It really helps tremendously. Yep. Just past the 121. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I wonder if so guys, I might maybe, just maybe, be able to make it all the way there on this full tank of gas, but I'd be completely empty. So basically, I'm gonna have to stop and get gas at some point, and I'll probably have to pee at some point. And I hope I can find a gas station that has like a fast food restaurant built into it, or a Sheetz. If I can find a Sheetz or a gas station with a restaurant built into it, then we'd be alright. But it's possible that none of those will be an option as well. So it's beautiful out here today. Wow. See, I need another camera. There's a X with the chemtrails, and then there we go. Hey guys, Sean just tried to call me. Will one of y'all message him and let him know I'm streaming from my phone with the call option? Yeah, I usually use my other phone. It would have been cool to have him like on the phone. We both could have been here doing this. But yeah, guys, so it's going to be a late stream tonight. Everyone coming in, the stream will probably start at, I'm going to try and get it at midnight. It might be like, because like, I'm not even going to get there until 12:06, 12:30 would be, I know it's going to be late. It's going to be late. I'm going to investigate hard, and then I have to shave and which will be fun. I wish I would have got my hair cut. But yeah, so to get to the question, So the question was, why would these random hotel rooms be haunted? And it mainly has to do with a handful of factors. So the one factor that Sean and me talk about often, oh, well, there's goldenrods. There's a whole field of goldenrods. The one that Sean and me talk about a lot is that all the energy from the people coming in and out of the hotel, not even just the room that we investigate or the room we stay in, but every room. Think about how many people come and go from these hotels, especially in these hotels that are off the interstate. And there's so many spots where maybe there is some kind of attraction at these hotels where if someone brings an attachment, like a spirit attachment, maybe that attachment wants to stay at the hotel, maybe it chooses to stay there because it's more comfortable or something like that. And not only that, but the history of the hotel itself, it's absolutely possible that some nasty things have gone on in the hotel rooms. And you never know, there's hardly ever reports unless there's a murder or a big crime that the police end up investigating. It's never you never hear about the random small things that could trigger a haunting there. Or maybe we got a room where the previous people who stayed there played with the Ouija board, not knowing that they're opening a gigantic portal. Also, the land. There's also the factor of the land. So like I said, you got the energy of the people coming and going of the hotel itself, not just the room, but the hotel. And then you also have the land. So maybe there was an entity that lived on that land to begin with. Or maybe the land had been haunted for a long time. Maybe there was a clash with some Native American tribes. Maybe there was a clash, maybe there was a brawl back when it was a smaller town, and maybe there were some people who lost their lives who feel they haven't been heard, or that their deaths were unjust, and they're still here, they're still reaching out. Or maybe they stayed behind to protect their land, and now there's this big hotel there, and now they're trying to check on everybody who's in the... Also, when we come in with equipment, when we come in with our intentions and energy, showing them we want to reach out to them, communicate to them, it might be a first for some of these spirits. Some of the spirits at these hotels might have never been talked to before. They might have never been heard before. And because of that, they come through very strong. They have a lot of built up energy, a lot of built up messages that they want to get out. And so, guys, do you remember that stream that Laura and me did? So remember we got snowed out of the interstate? We couldn't even keep driving. The interstate was a wreck. It was an absolute mess. It was completely covered with slush and snow and ice, and it was a 4-lane interstate, and there was only it became these 2 random lanes that two different, there was no lanes, and there was just 2 tracks of cars, and this car couldn't handle it because this car, it's front wheel drive, but it's not all wheel drive. And my next vehicle, it's got to be an all wheel drive car. After this past winter, with all the times that I needed it, next car's got to be all-wheel drive. I wish there was a way to upgrade this to all-wheel drive because I love this car. I love this car. Absolutely love it. But anyways, so you got the energy of the people who come and go, and maybe possibly their attachments. You got the land itself, the history, and what happened there. And then the third thing, the final thing, is the energy that we bring, that Sean and me bring with us. The different spirits that follow us, and the different spirits that know of us and try to reach out over and over again. So there's that energy as well. Jessica Luna, yeah, exactly. Guys, I can't call Sean at the moment because this is what the live stream's on. Oh, he texts. Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell him to message me on Facebook. Okay, he said call when you can. It's about tomorrow night. Okay. I can do that. right, hopefully he sees it. Some of these semis, man. Can guys, like, do we have any truckers in the audience tonight? Anybody who's a truck driver or been a truck driver? Because guys, from where I do these like long trips, I've got mad respect for truck drivers. Because not only are they doing even longer trips, they're also driving a gigantic vehicle while doing it and living out of the back of it. So, Mama Epic, it's all good. We on the road. Hell yeah. So guys, I'm going to call Sean after the stream. But I think we got a location for tomorrow. Let's go. So guys, this always happens. Like, some of our best road trips to hell. Like, guys, this is not an official Road Trip to Hell series trip, by the way. But some of our best road trips to hell have come when we booked it last minute. Like the one where we investigated the ghost town, the Henry River Mill Village. That I booked that literally like the day before we left. It was like the day or two before we left for the trip. I found that and booked it, and they had just opened it a few days prior. So it was brand new. We wouldn't have been able to book it in advance anyways. So, but Sean landed a location. Hell yeah. And with help, I think it was with help from the Sean squad. So shout out the Sean squad. We have a location. Hell yeah. Hey, I'll call you back. I'll call you here in a little bit when I'm done streaming, but hell yeah, man, I'm super excited. That's going to be lit. Boom. Guys, that's the trick. Either voice messaging or voice to text. Don't be trying to text. Don't be trying to text. All right, guys. Now that that's squared away. Hell yeah. I'm excited. So now we do have a location for tomorrow night. We have a location for Saturday night. Sunday I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to try and make the entire 11-hour drive back. I might do a couple of these just for fun. But yeah, so that was the first question about the hotel rooms and why they may be haunted and why they seem to be so haunted. Because it had, like, just through the pictures I could like feel some raw energy, some like raunchy energy. But I decided to pick a nicer one instead, get a good night's rest, and I have a good feeling that where it's located, there might be some good energy. Guys, the sketchier hotels, the sketchier motels, you're for sure going to have a lot of sketch energy, like a totally suspect energy. And that energy would really feed into some activity, depending on what's happened. Wow, all these hills. I could not imagine freaking Daniel Boone traversing all this stuff. No roads, no nothing, no bug spray. Like, my goodness. Guys, back then you just had to be an outdoorsy man. Like, even I wouldn't back then would compare to men today. I guess there were still probably dorks, and there was anybody who was like rich or spoiled, they didn't have to do nothing. They didn't. No. Oh no. Did we switch towers? Are we back? Back in business. Are we back? Check, check, test, test. We back. We back. Back again. All right. So next question. One thing that we usually get asked is like, what's your scariest moment? What's your craziest moment from investigating? What stuck with you? That kind of thing. So I've told the same stories for a few years now. As far as like waking up with I woke up one time and there was someone I'd never seen before, never met in my life, and they were sitting on the edge of my bed in their underwear, like turned back staring at me. Never saw that girl ever in my life. She was just randomly in my house, sitting on my bed, watching me sleep. I've told that story over and over. Also, I told the story about seeing the 7-foot-tall hooded robed figure at Revenant Acres, and then we capture a liquid shadow mass like right after it. Right after a road trip to hell memories. And starting off most recently, guys, I just cannot get over what we experienced at the Archive of the Afterlife. Shout out Steve Hummel, shout out Paranormal Quest. But Archive of the Afterlife, the dark room. So everything was leading us to this moment where we took a haunted doll out of the case and it giggled a deep, like a giggle that like vibrated the room. And Sean and me heard the giggle. Steve heard a growl. He heard a growl. And the hell was Are we back? All right, so everything leading up to that moment. We were downstairs and Sean on EVP captured clear boot steps above us. And right above us was the doll room. And Sean and me both felt the most energy in the doll room, like by far, like as energy you could feel, like palpable energy. And we're up there in the doll room and we start doing EVP. And before we what to me it felt like it was coming from the dark room. It sounded like laughing, and we record the EVPs. The very first thing we get is it was something like "Play with us," and so we're in a haunted museum in a room full of creepy dolls that all have some kind of significant history or paranormal history. And the first, like one of the first EVP captures we get is a voice going, "Play with us." And so my next, anyways, we played it back. The very first one was All in Time. All right, so we might be in a dead zone. Can you hear me? It might be too dead through this piece. Maybe not. But anyways, Sean heard The Exorcist in his head. We play back the EVP, and the first one is All in Time. It's like, all in time. And then Steve is like, that reminds me of the scene in The Exorcist where like the priest is saying, you know, do something, and the demon's like, in time. Well, we play it a couple seconds after that, and it sounds like it goes, we want an exorcist. And the exorcist is so clear. It's like, we want an exorcist. And all of that happened within a short time. And then Sean heard what sounded like a female talking over in that dark room. So basically, everything was building for us to go over to that dark room. We go over there, I take the recorder and I put it up to the doll, which is coincidentally named Hope. She's named Hope. I put the recorder up to Hope, and it goes, "Hail Satan," in like a female voice, female tone on the EVP. It goes, "Hail Satan," and we're like, "What the hell?" And then Sean's like, "Can we take it out of the case? Can we take Hope out of the case and like set her up?" And so Steve gets her out of the case, puts her on a chair. I record on EVP, and then I ask her, "Can you make yourself known to us, or can you talk to us?" And then she goes, "Hee hee hee." She like giggles, but guys, it wasn't like a human vocal tone giggle. It was like you could hear the giggle, but there was this deep vibration energy behind it. It was like the giggle was shaking everything around us. And we captured it barely. It barely came through on the live stream audio, even though it was super loud. It was super loud in real time. And in that exact moment, Steve heard a growl. So Steve heard a growl loud and clear. Sean and me heard the giggle. When we played back the recorder, the EVP recorder, there's a crystal clear EVP that goes, "Get out." So where the growl was, where the giggle was, instead of a growl or a giggle, it's a crystal clear EVP that says, "Get out." Absolutely bananas, or as our girl Angie Roddingdahl would say, bonkers. Totally bonkers. It was insane. And I don't like it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Maybe there's not a tower near here. Whoa. Whoa. Hey. Guess who's back? That's a tower right over there. But there is a freaking mountain in between us and that tower. Maybe that's blocking the signal. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think we're actually connected. But shout out Trixie Cat throwing it down on the super chat for Princess Mel's question. What got you into the I'm trying the Wi-Fi box. Who knows? Are we back? For really? Danielle, Mystic Autistic, can you hear me? I emailed you back about the that podcast. I know it was a little late. I know, but I just saw it. I'd just seen it. So Danielle, if you're hearing me, I'm down for it. I'm totally down. Joey Litness Vlogs is back. Are we back? Oh. Guys, it might have been a problem with the YouTube app. Oh, Danielle, I'm so sorry to hear that about your mom. I did not know that. My goodness. How are you holding up? Danielle, thank you for being here. It's good to see you. And take your time. There's no rush. No rush on anything. Don't even worry about it. So I kind of saw the question from DJ Donnelly. I don't know if DJ's still here or not. But if a building gets demolished and it's haunted, where do the spirits go? Now that's been a question for quite some time, and there's a handful of answers for that I think are right. So a lot of spirits are attached to an area like if there was like a haunted place and you knock it down and build another building on top of it, spirits of the previous building. Now, what that means is when there's no building there at all, the spirits are most likely still there. They're most likely still attached to that spot for whatever reason. And if a building gets demolished, it's absolutely possible that the spirits stay there and they're not like freed, they don't get to move. Now that's with like, I'd imagine your regular human spirits. Now when we start talking about other spirits that might have been brought in through witchcraft and attached to items, maybe someone summoned something and attached it to a house, maybe unintentionally, and then when that house gets demolished, like when it gets incinerated, maybe that does free whatever entity was brought to that home or summoned into that home. Maybe that does allow it to move freely through the world. And then also, it's quite possible that the building itself has nothing to do with the haunting at all. And I think that's part of it. I think that's like with Post Town, for instance. I think where Post Town stands would be haunted even if Post Town wasn't there. I think Post Town being there gives the spirits like an energy path to navigate. But yeah, there's a tower right there, so we should be good for about 3 or 4 minutes, hopefully, maybe, who knows. And then Princess Mel asked, DJ, thank you for being here. Princess Mel asked, how did you get, oh my God, what was that? Well, if my tire starts going flat, then we know it was something bad. Oh, there's a deer. I wonder what that was. Oh my goodness, please tell me we have the spare tire in the trunk. Guys, whatever it was flat. It was completely flat on the road, and I didn't see it until I freaking was about to hit it. But it sounded like an aluminum can, but it looked bigger than an aluminum can. I think we're all right. I think I ran flat over. It was metal, whatever that thing was. It was like aluminum. It sounded, looked, and felt like aluminum. So hopefully we're all right. Keep an eye on the tire thingy. I have a tire gauge. It'll come up. Anyways, the question Princess Mel had is, did you get started into the paranormal? Well, there were a handful of things that led to me being into the paranormal. So all my life, even as a young kid, I had experiences with paranormal phenomenon and like ghost encounters and just unexplained stuff. And my old friend Bobby, he's my best friend in the world, he actually stopped by my house yesterday, and we talked about some of the weird stuff that happened when we were kids. And so there's always been stuff like happening around me. I just never knew what to think of it. And then when I got older, I got into music, and so I just ignored it entirely. I just absolutely ignored it completely. But the one thing that I always tell everybody is this. My house was so active that every night there'd be the stereotypical banging on the windows and doors, especially in series of threes, like boom, boom, boom. And it wouldn't just be like one window or one door. Some nights it'd be every single door and window at the house at once would go boom, boom, boom. I'd be like, what the hell? And these loud, like, guttural voices would be like, get out. Like, just, it was extreme. I was having sleep paralysis, like, every night. Night terrors. And also, I'd lay in the bed, and I'd feel, at first, it felt like a cat jumped on the bed and started walking around. I could literally feel its paws depressing in the bed all around me. And then it started feeling like a dog, like something heavier. And then it started feeling like someone sat on the bed, and this was over the course of weeks. And then it started feeling like someone sat on the bed and then like rolled over. And then it got to the point where it felt like someone sat in the bed, rolled over, and grabbed me, like put their arm around me and was like, hold me. And my heart, and when this is happening, my heart's going like flying out of my chest. And just, so all that stuff was happening, and I thought I was just losing my mind. I thought I was just super stressed out. I thought, I was like, whatever. So, as you all know, the basement is like a jam room, and the jam room was set up to record bands. So like I could record bands, and my Pops Metal, his band. He was in a black metal band. Well, he still kind of is, but this was a different black metal band. And I was set to record them. And the guitar players, they came over, they set up their gear. We checked the mics, and I went into the room, and they were like, look, man, we can't record here. And I was like, why not? What's wrong? And they were like, the energy is too intense here. These are two guitar players in a black metal band, and all they talk about is like dark entities and like summoning creatures and weird stuff, like dark, weird stuff. They said the energy was too intense in the basement to record. And so they taught me how to do how to sage a place. And they taught me how to do the salt ritual, where you put the salt in the corners of the house. And so I did that every day for a week. That was on a Sunday. I did that every day for a week. And next Sunday, when they came over, they were like, yeah, all right, we can record. But what's crazy is from that moment forward, by the time they came back, the banging on the doors and windows stopped, the loud voices stopped, the sleep paralysis and night terrors started going away. Like, all of that stuff stopped once I started saging, doing the salt ritual every single day. And at that moment, I was like, holy shit, this is real. It like solidified it in my body, in my being, in the core of myself. I was like, this is actually a reality that we can interact with. This stuff is not, because I thought it was all in my head. I thought I was like losing my mind, thought I was going absolutely crazy. And turns out there were spirits just running absolutely rampant, probably of the darker variety, or at least serving the darker variety. It's a weird power pole thing. It's like 3. Interesting. Whoa. All right, anyways, that's how I got into it. So from there, I started going ghost hunting, and with MC and Nick. Oh yeah, and okay, so I got my first recorder. So shortly after that, I got my first recorder. This was in 2015, by the way. On the podcast I did with Ryan Singer, I accidentally said 2016. I meant 2015. That's when I got my first recorder. And one night, I think it had to have been in January or February 2015. I was sitting in my room. I know it was the winter. I was sitting in my room, and I was on the edge of my corner of my bed, and I decided to just record an EVP. So I hit record. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, if you're in here, do you know my name? And then all of a sudden I started feeling weird. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. I have the recorder recording. I start feeling weird. And I go, what is my name? And as I'm saying that question, all of a sudden my blood pressure drops. And I get tunnel vision. You know, like when you stand up too fast and you just see black all around your vision, it feels like you're going to pass out. That happened to me. And I was sitting there like, oh my goodness, this can't be like normal, like, and I'm looking at the recorder, I'm like, man, like, woo, and like eventually it passes. So I'm just sitting there silent, like trying not to pass out, and that passes. I hit stop on the recorder and I'm playing it back. And so when it gets to that point where I ask the second question, where I go, what is my name? And then my blood pressure started dropping, you hear clear as day a full female whisper go, Eric Sean Connor. It says my full name, all three names, first, middle, last name. And what's also crazy about this is that back then I was so new that I didn't know to record with different settings. I didn't know to record with the lower settings. So this was recorded on extra high quality. This was the extremely top quality of the settings. And that EVP is just so loud and clear. And so I started freaking out. And like my eyes watered up and I was like, oh my God. And so I went into the living room and I was like, at the time, it was Pops and Laramie. And I was like, listen to this. And like Laramie had been doing online schooling. So she had her headphones in and she was sitting in the living room, kind of by like the window. And then Pops had been in the kitchen and he'd been making some kind of food in the kitchen. And I was showing it to him, and I was like, "Are you guys messing with me? Did y'all do something?" Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't wrap my head around how clear that EVP was. But that's when I decided to get more equipment. That's when I decided to get the Spirit Box. And once I got the Spirit Box, I ran it through my pedal board, and my pedals were lined up like the Gateway. I just happened to have, like, the Echo pedal I'd always use had a full reverse function on it, and I had the reverb and like noise gate, like. And so it just happened to have all the stuff for a freaking Gateway. Which really makes me think, it's like, how crazy is it that I had that stuff already? And I didn't even know about the paranormal. It's so weird, guys, because like I'm all in now. Like it's obvious. It's like super. I'm all in now. But even when I started, I was all in right away. It was one of those things where it was like I was already in before I even started, and I just hadn't realized it or known it. And that's how, like, growing up, there's always been like a few things that I've been interested in. Like when I was real little, I remember the first time I ever saw wrestling on TV, and I was mesmerized. I had to be like 4 years old. I couldn't have been older than 4 or 5. And actually the TV that I saw it on, if I'm not mistaken, it's the TV we used to have in the kitchen. I wonder what happened to that TV. Anyways, it was wrestling at first, and then I got into, of course, like Dragon Ball Z, and again, a literal child, but into Dragon Ball Z. And then in high school or middle school is when I started playing guitar. And that was my first like extreme passion. Extreme, fully dedicated. Like, and at that point I'd played football for 2 years. I'd been in baseball for so many years. And I never felt any like love for it. But when I found music, I was just like obsessed. And then it was probably 11, 12 years before I found something else that I was that obsessed with, and it was the paranormal. It took literally 12 years before I found something else I enjoyed as much as music. How crazy is that? Like, that goes to show you that, like, there are things out there that you may love that you just haven't found or experienced yet. Like, I never thought there would be anything that would compare to being a musician and to making music. And now I hardly ever do it. And now I haven't made a song in a long time. And I've jammed around, like I've messed around, but I used to do it every day for over a decade, working on songs and like playing shows and traveling. But I never imagined that there could be anything else that I loved as much or even more than music. anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. So yeah. All right, guys. So I'll probably keep this going for like 10 more minutes, because then we'll be at a solid hour. But does anyone have any further questions? If not, I'll talk about some other questions. Like, for instance, like, guys, here's a good question. Is it possible that there are other realities that come through the equipment? Like, is it possible that there are parallel worlds that bleed over in the frequencies in the EVP? Oh, Angie says, Eric, do you think the tire's okay? Yeah, the tire is absolutely fine, y'all. The tire is absolutely fine. Allie Bagel says, Eric, how about the best SLS session? Oh, yeah. All right, yeah, let's talk about that. And yeah, guys, the tire is perfect. There's no issue. I think my car was just so beefy and just so, like, strapping that it just, like, crushed whatever it was. It had to be some kind of aluminum. Like, that's what it seemed like. Yeah, we're good. We're rolling on down the road here. We have best SLS session. So that's, guys, that's hard because I've had a lot of really good SLS captures spread out over the years. So let me try and think here. Clearly, okay, one of the best sessions ever was with Daryl. It was Daryl and me and Nick. Daryl, Nick, and me. And it was Daryl's birthday last year. And Daryl came up and investigated with us. And it was active. It was like active. And the SLS was just wild. And it was in Sarah's stairwell. So Daryl said he could feel something behind him. He heard something walk past him. And he was like, I think it's by the REM pod or something like that. And then the REM pod goes off. And then a map appears over the REM pod, like hitting the REM pod. And it was a gigantic map. Like, it totally didn't look human at all. But it was over the REM pod. And then another map appears. At one point, there's multiple maps, and they're like interacting with each other at Sarah's stairwell in Post Town. And then at one point, one map smushes the other one down, like crushes them, and then they disappear, and then they form into one. Like, it was ballistic, absolutely ballistic. And then, of course, like, my best capture ever is, again, at Sarah's stairwell at Post Town Elementary. This time, Nick's holding the camera, and he's on the bottom flight of stairs by the principal hallway, and he's facing up, and you see a little map in, and it's like, child-sized, and it was a map free-floating in open space, and the map's chilling there, and then all of a sudden a shadow comes. And at first, I always thought that the shadow attacked the other spirit. I thought the shadow person attacked the spirit and caused it to explode like that. But then Daryl pointed out something. Daryl said it looks like the shadow is actually trying to grab the spirit and pull it back. It looks like the shadow's trying to grab it and pull it back. And I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. So, like, what if when Sarah fell at Post Town, there was a spirit there trying to stop her from falling? Or maybe catch her in a way to where she didn't fall all the way down to the basement. Because, like, guys, she fell and hit her head, and she didn't die right away. She died at home later from her injuries. But yeah, so, and then, of course, the other crazy capture is the haunted basement. We're down there, a spirit manifests, and I was like, were you trying to give me the peace sign? And then the spirit literally, so there's a spirit mapped in the haunted basement. It's across multiple depths, not on any one object or surface. And I'm like, were you trying to give me the peace sign? Is that the peace sign? And then out of nowhere, immediately, the spirit lifts its arm up in the air and gives the peace sign on the SLS camera. And this is like the Connect V2. It's a very, very much more advanced SLS camera. It takes a lot for something to map in on that camera, because it doesn't just map anything, guys. There are some SLS cameras out there, guys, that just they map and track anything. They don't have any parameters. to negate whether it's a wall. Like you'll see all the time people mapping a wall, like all the time. My SLS doesn't do that, and part of that, like, you know, that means that like I don't get as many maps by far. Like I get fewer maps, but the maps we do get have a much higher percentage of being completely legit, completely anomalous captures of the paranormal, and that's why I like using it. And it's important. It's important to me. Also, guys, I don't know why, but this bottle keeps sucking in like this. Do you see this? It's supposed to be regular water, and I close the lid, and then it just like condenses itself. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! So what are y'all gonna do today until the stream? I won't be streaming until about midnight, or probably like 12:30. I could stop earlier though. I could stop early. I'm trying to make it all the way to Maryland. Guys, I spent the extra money on Dasani thinking that they use like better plastic. I do worry about drinking water out of plastic bottles. But then again, like, what else are you going to drink it out of? You can also, like, I do have this can that Laura got me, and it's metal on the inside. Probably aluminum. Like, aluminum and plastic are both, you know, they both have their dangerous qualities. But what are you gonna do? Oh my god, guys, I forgot to tell you. Allie Bagel, you have a steel water bottle? Hey, that's probably smart. Alright, so guys, I forgot to tell you, when I was leaving Laura's house the other day, I saw 2 crows on the side of the road eating a pizza. I am not even joking. I saw 2 crows eating a pizza on the side of the road, and one crow had just picked up a piece of pizza and was like trying to lift off with it, flying with like an entire piece of pizza in its mouth, and the other crow was like pecking at the pizza on the ground. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna make a drawing of it and and just see what happens. But it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. I had to call Laura immediately. Like, we had just left. I was like, hey, guess what I just saw? Yeah, I have to say, it was amazing. It was amazing. What is this down here? Y'all see these poles sticking up in the distance? Oh, it's not going to focus. Whoa, Speedway? What is that gigantic thing? It says Speedway on it. And these poles down here is what I was talking about. What are these? What is this? Whoa! 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 It's like a steel city. That looks like something out of an anime. What the hell is this? Oh, it smells awful over here. Oh no! It smells like wet. It smells like wet eggs. Oh, we're about to be in
West Virginia.
West Virginia! Mountain Mama! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ow. My goodness. Alright. Oh my goodness. Speed limit is dropping down to freaking 50. And it's going down to one lane. Should I get in front of this guy? Is he getting off on this exit? Okay, thank goodness. That's the oil refinery? Nice. That thing looks so cool. Alright, this is... I'm gonna have to focus on the road here. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Yeah, guys, they're working on it out here. Down to one lane. Oh, that was a freaking dip. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're gonna be back to 2 lanes here. On a bridge. Yeah. Definitely on a bridge. Alright, we made it off the bridge. End road work. And then there goes that flying blue car. She is in a hurry. Oh, here comes an orange car behind us. It's going even faster. Look at that. Going like the orange car has to be going 100. And the blue car has to be going like 90. Because I mean, guys, I'm going pretty fast. And they are smoking me. Alright, fam, we're going to close it here. I appreciate you coming to this Q&A. Whoa, that's a crazy looking Jeep. That's a crazy drop up. Oh my goodness. Lori Lit Lolo. It's in the. I'll be live tonight at the hotel room, a little after midnight. Stay tuned and stay epic, guys. I will see you there. Hopefully, you're seeing this or hearing this. Peace, family.